Okay, so we all know what creepypastas is. If you don't, well, they're just really, really scary stories usually posted on creepypasta.wikia.com or just on the creepypasta website in general, which I believe that is the creepypasta website, and I am talking fast because I do not want to waste time. I had a good idea to, have other people do their voices of certain creepypasta characters, Jeff the Killer, Thunderman, etc., etc., Ben, and I am going to try to do a voice of Sally, although I could later on try to do a voice of Jane. I want to do a voice of Sally right now because I'm used to doing, really, little kid voices. So, I was thinking eventually we can make a collage, do some voice covers, maybe make our own comic, and then, add our voices, and then have someone else animate that. And it'd be really cool, but we wouldn't be able to go on the characters or anything, just our voices. And then maybe we could even do some, songs, like creepypasta versions of Vocaloid songs in English, Japanese, whatever they want to do. Um, so here is my attempt to voice out Sally. This is when she is crying to her mother about her uncle. Okay. Mama, I didn't want to. The girl managed to say through hiccuping sobs. Didn't want to do what, sweetie? I didn't want to play. I didn't want to play this game. The child walked up to her mother and hugged her right tight. He touched me, and then made me touch him. Maria frowned and gently began stroking the child's hair, comforting her, lightly shushing her to calm down. And then she's like, shh, it's a nightmare and all that. Tell her not to worry about it anymore. And then, she's like, don't worry about it anymore. And then Sally's like, oh, okay, Mama. And then her mother smiled and kissed her forehead. And then she lets out a giggle, because her mom's like, hey, why don't you wash up and you don't want to play with your friends with a dirty face. Later on, Johnny and his brother came back from work. Frank sighed, smiling when he saw Sally waved to him. His father waved back, closed the door. Point being, Johnny also walked inside the house and paused when he heard the conversation between his brother and his wife. Sally, what? Frank asked. She had a nightmare, a very bad one. He said he touched her. Who the hell is he? I don't know, Frank, but it was only a nightmare. I just wanted to inform you I was going off her and she was acting different. So Johnny gets angry. Her Uncle Johnny. Phone can wait. No offense, Isaac, if you ever ended up watching this video, but I'm kind of busy at the moment. I'm trying to speed through this, so I do not waste that much time. Okay. Go to the store. So I wanted to come along too. Okay, so he's like, Sally! Except not in that voice. I hope. And it's like, come on, let's go to the store. And so she sat there for a moment, and then went with her Uncle Johnny. And then so she's like, did Mama want you to go to the store? She asked. Johnny nodded and put the keys in the ignition, turning it on and backing out the driveway. Yeah, but she wants me to go to get some food for her. Maybe I can get you something too, he grinned, looking down at the child. Sally nervously smiled back and looked ahead, watching the scenery pass by. As soon as they got to the road leading to the store, Sally noticed he wasn't slowing down to turn in the parking lot. She furrowed her brows and confused and looked up at him. Uncle Johnny, the store is back that way, she said, pointing in the direction of the Whole Foods store, but nothing came from the man. He just continued driving, a very faint smile on his face. The child sat up and looked past the back seat, watching the store slowly grow smaller until it was out of sight. Realizing they weren't going grocery shopping, the child watched her uncle drive to a small parking lot in the community park near town. So yes, they went to a park. I was confused about that part. No one went to the park on Sundays. Sally felt nervous, her breath quickening, watching the man with the wide eyes. Johnny put the car in the park, turned off the ignition, looking at the child. Anger obviously showing in his features. You told your mom what happened, didn't you? Yeah. No. Okay, anyways, I'm not gonna voice Johnny. Okay. And then he's like, you're not playing the game right, Sally. And then, he pulls her towards her. Ignoring the struggle she was putting up and her whimpering pleas, remind her that she said she'd play the game with him, and that she lied. So he opened the door beside him, climbed out along with the child, shoved her onto the ground, quickly pinning her down, ignoring the cries and writhing the child was making. If he punished now for breaking the rules, he said in a slightly singing tone, and began to unbuckle his belt. Holy shit, he raped her before she died. Anyways, and then it's a teenager finding her ghost, pretty much. He said, let's see, the teen froze to hear a faint sound of crying, though it sounded like a child slowly rising up from the bed. Once more, the girl made way to her door and opened it. The crying seemed to be louder outside of her, and peering down the darkness, the teen kept down the hallway, following the sounds of whimpering. Once getting to the end of it all, I think it was the end of the hall, is what she meant. The girl gasped, sitting on the floor in front of her. Okay. The girl's like, who are you? How'd you get in my house? And then suddenly the crying stopped. The child slowly moved her trembling hands away from her face and looked behind her, twitching slightly. Blood replaced her tears standing in her hands. There was a deep cloud of blood and hair on the side of her head, blood leaking from the wound down her face and onto her dirty nightgown. Her bright green eyes seemed like they saw right through her soul. This is my house. The child spoke, her voice raspy, yet as if it should sound like she was struggling to speak. The girl's body twitched and wiggled oddly as she rose up to her feet and turned to face the teen. Her feet were dirty as if she'd been running through the mud. Scraps covered her knees and legs, and at the end of her gown was torn and tattered. The name Sally soon to the front. Reaching out her blood-soaked hand, the girl slowly smiled, blood staining her teeth as she spoke. Play with me. God, I would just back. Hey, Sally, how's it going? I got a ball. Let me go get it, and then come out and bring a shotgun back. Okay, get the fuck out of my house. Anyways, so yeah, that's me trying to voice Sally.